Soon as I see it in session or sense it, I know that I need to set a boundary. Today, I am talking about how to set perfect boundaries with clients. Yes, there is a role play in this video because I know you all love those. And the reason that setting boundaries is so important, they really are the key to keep us from burning out in the field of social work or any other helping profession. So let's get to the role play. Let's get to my tips and strategies to setting boundaries with our clients. So before we start saying no, no, and no, not exactly in that way, maybe kind of, we need to learn what our triggers are. What are the things that we get on soapboxes about, the things that really hit us hard? Those are the things we need to think about right now. So let's pause the video real quick and get real tangible and list those out. Just one, if you can put it in the comment box below. I'm gonna drop mine down there, see if you can find it. This triggers me to no end. And as soon as I see it in session or sense it, I know that I need to set a boundary, and it comes out like this. You know, as the session is moving along, I can't help but wonder whether some of what we're talking about is in fact the truth. I won't lie to you, one of the things that does frustrate me is lies when they're coming up in session and when people in front of me don't share the truth. Now, everything in here is confidential. I want to remind you of that. We know the 3 exceptions. We've reviewed those. So if we're sharing things that are not truthful in here, then all this time that we're spent together is really not going to benefit you in the long run. The advice that I'm giving, the feedback that I'm giving, everything that's happening in here is going to be based off of lies, meaning you're not going to be able to take anything with you beyond this session that's going to be helpful at all in your day-to-day life in dealing what you got to deal with. So the time in here is yours. It's completely yours. The time will essentially be wasted if we're lying instead of finding solutions that can help us get through this problem and finish these sessions a lot quicker. I highlighted a few of what I'm going to be talking about later in this video right in that role play right there. But I know you all really love role plays, so I wanted to be sure to get that out into this video rather quickly, and then we'll step through the rest of the boundaries that are really important to set with clients. One of the major boundaries to set with clients is your emotional boundaries. So as you're in session, it's really important to remember that you are separate from the client. If you are an empath like myself, then this can get a little bit tricky. We can really meet the client where they are and feel those emotions for ourselves and sometimes take those home with us. This is called countertransference and transference. This dance, this balance, this dynamic that happens in session takes us over almost without us even realizing it. So it's important to step back and rebalance and refocus after every session if possible. Once we're done with session, I do a little bit of a cleansing. I balance myself. I practice mindfulness, like a mindful moment, to make sure that I'm separating myself from the dynamic that just happened in session. This can also be a way to get into the routine of documenting so everything gets done all at once, and then I'm able to really refocus on my next client or to move on to my next task of the day. We need to get used to welcoming being able to say no to a client in session for many reasons. One being, we are a role model for our clients, so modeling exactly how to say no in appropriate and well-mannered ways is good for them to hear and to see and to practice themselves. We might even want to check in with them and ask them how it felt to hear the answer that they really didn't want to hear at the time. So this way we're able to also guide them through those and process through those feelings of rejection. I think that's something that therapists and social workers and helpers and healers like us really fear, is severing somehow the rapport that's being built. That is not what we need to focus on. We need to focus not on ourselves but on the client. So use those situations as teachable moments. And then comes the follow through. You need to be able to follow through. If you have already set the boundary and let them know that these certain things are not okay, and the client continues to cross those boundaries, we need to be able to remove ourselves from the situation. It's okay to end a session early. This is important because clients will test our limits and those boundaries that we're setting. If you work in a school like myself or with children and adolescents, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So hopefully this video was somewhat helpful for you. Give me a like, send me a comment. If you didn't put your trigger down below when we paused the video earlier, please make sure you drop it down below, because I'm sure there's several triggers that we have in common, and maybe based off of the comments below, I can make more role plays for us on how to deal with each and every one. So be sure you drop yours down there before you exit the video, and check out these other videos that I'm going to put up top. They are all related to setting boundaries with difficult clients, to spotting toxic people, toxic colleagues in our workplaces, and all of it is to help us to break into this field of social work and stay in the field as shiny social workers. There's going to be a whole series on smart self-care coming up on my channel and my blog, and a self-care challenge coming to us very soon at the end of the month in preparation for Social Work Month, which is in the month of March, one of my faves, birthday month as well. So with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. I'm wishing you social work success until next time. We'll see you next Friday.